Hi, it's Donna Joy Usher, and as promised, I am coming to you with something that I am creating at the moment that is for those people who are struggling to have the success that they deserve. So they are like working their business hard but they're still not having that success. Now, if that is you, if you're trying to work out what's going on, what is blocking you from having success, then you may be getting stumped by something that I call the Success Triad. Now, sometimes it's just that you've just started and you've got to have the pot boiling for a while or the pot cooking for a while before the water starts to boil, right? You have to stir the pot for a while before you start to see success. So sometimes it's just time, all right? Just time in the game, time doing what you're doing if you're doing the correct things, that before you start to see that success and you start to see that curve starting to happen where people are starting to reach out to you and come onto your calendar and book with you and start to come on as clients. But there is something else very important that could be blocking your success. So I call this the Success Triad. And basically it's that you need to believe to succeed, you need to act to succeed, and then you need to plan to succeed. So I want to just talk about this very briefly now. So the first thing is you need to believe to succeed. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, but I do believe that I can succeed. But the problem is that we all have things called limiting self-beliefs. Now, these self-beliefs are formed often when we're quite young, often before we're even toddlers. Things happen to us in our childhood that can be called traumatic, and they may not be what we would look at as being traumatic now, but when you're a very small child, they're traumatic to you. And then you form self-beliefs to protect yourself. Now, when you're a very small child, these beliefs are very important. They're protecting you. But when you're an adult, if you still have this limiting self-belief locked inside you, now they're actually inhibiting you. And for success, you can have limiting self-beliefs about success itself, or it might be about money, or it might be about your self-worth, or it might be your self-confidence, all these sort of things. That it might be about being confident. You have a self-belief about that, how being confident is a bad thing. Because something happened to you when you were a child that taught you that being confident was a bad thing. So you have these limiting self-beliefs that are locked inside of you that may be preventing you from success. And here's the kicker. You don't even know they exist. On the surface, you have formed what you think is a new belief, but this child belief is still there blocking you. And you need to be able to release that before you can go on to have success. Because what happens is that it is that child belief, that initial limiting self-belief, which is what's creating the mapping for you, which is what it's like you're programming your brain. So on the surface level, you're thinking this, but in reality, you're acting because of this. So it's like we have a very expensive equipment, like a very expensive computer, but with very old programming driving it. And you're not having that success that you want. Now, the second thing that can be blocking your success is you need to act to succeed. So what I mean by this is that you need to be acting now in the way that your successful you is already acting. So I want you to imagine there's a timeline drawn out in front of you. And there's all these versions of you standing along this timeline from now into the future. And these are all different versions of you having different points of success. So all of these views, if you believe in quantum physics, all of these versions of you already are there. They already exist, okay? They're already there waiting for you. For you to become that next version of you who's had that next level of success, whatever stepping stone that is that you're thinking that you have, maybe it's your first 5-figure month, maybe it's 6 figures a year, whatever it is, maybe it's just getting your first client, right? Whoever that is, whatever success they're having, for you to become that version, you need to be mirroring them now. You need to be doing exactly what it is that they're doing now to have had that level of success. You need to be doing it now. I know a lot of people look at the people who are successful and they're like, oh yes, well, they're doing all this stuff and I'll do that when I get to that level. But the thing is that they were doing that to get to that level. They would not have become successful if they were not doing that. And it can seem a bit hollow when you're first starting out. If you're doing all this posting and you're doing all this stuff and you're not getting any engagement, you're not getting any comments, and you can start to have self-doubt creep in and you start to think things like, this is stupid, it's not working. But that's that pot boiling I was talking about. You have to do this stuff for long enough for it to work before it works, right? And then you can step into that future version of you. So you need to be mirroring their actions. You need to be mirroring their thoughts. You need to be holding your vibrational energy high for you to make that transition. So that's acting succeed. And then what I do and what I teach people to do is to actually have a conversation with that future version of themselves to find out what it is that they're doing, what it is that they do, what's their daily method of operation, what's their thought process behind stuff. How are they working with clients? How are they building their team? What are they doing? You'll be surprised the answers that you need are already inside of you because you already have this connection with these future versions of you who are successful. So take some time to sit down and think and put yourself into this future version of you. Now, you don't have to go to the stupid end of someone who's making 7 figures, because that may blow you out of the water in belief. You can just go to the next phase of you who's having the success that you desire now and ask them what they're doing. Have a conversation with them. Find out what they're doing, and then you need to start doing that now. Start mirroring them now. Become the exact shape that they are now, and you will become them when we add time in there. Now, the last thing that you need to be doing is planning to succeed. So the first two are a little bit like woo-woo. The last one is very functional. You need to be consistent. You need to be not getting stuck in shiny object syndrome. You need to be planning out what it is that you need to be doing, setting goals, and then sticking to them. So I set goals for my quarter, for my month, for my week, for my day, and then I stick to them. And by doing this, I'm not distracted. By having these goals set out for myself so that I know exactly what I need to be doing, I'm not caught up in shiny object syndrome anymore. I'm not distracted by stuff like social media because I have these goals, these set goals that I need to do. And don't set too many goals. It's okay to not have everything that you know that you need to do in your business on your goal list for this quarter or for this month or for this week. So when I'm setting my goals, I will pick the 3 to 5 most important things for that quarter. And then I will have a look at them using my ICE method, which I've talked about in a different video, where I analyze these goals and I work out which ones I need to be working on now and which ones I need to be working on first. And then I will work out what I need to do. And then I have a radar list where I put the things that I know I need to do in the future. I put them onto the list, so I've written them down so I can stop giving them brain space. I can stop worrying about them or worrying that I'm going to forget about them or that they need to be done. They're there on the list. I've acknowledged them and they're there for the future. So you need to write down, like for instance, at the moment I am creating some training around this exact thing. I'm creating the Simple Success Triad training, and I am also working on a new funnel. So it's going to be a paid marketing funnel. So they're my goals for the moment. And I'm growing my Facebook group. So they're my goals for the moment. So everything that I do has to be linking back to these 3 things. Everything that I put my energy into outside of just my normally day-to-day running of my business has to be just towards these 3 goals. And so every day I know what it is that I'm doing that's driving, and I can time block so that I can have intense periods of time where I'm just working on a project and focusing entirely on that project and not getting distracted by other things or my own brain, not letting my own brain get in my way, because I know exactly what I need to be doing. And this is planning to succeed. When you plan your time, when you plan your energy, when you plan what you're doing and you remove and avoid distractions, you can do more in 2 hours than you would in a whole day, where you're kind of not quite sure what you're doing and you're getting distracted by things and over here, ooh, maybe this is what I should be doing, and maybe that's why I'm not having success, and over here. If you remove all of that and you just get clarity on what it is that you need to be doing, then you can start to achieve the success that you desire. Now, I am going to be releasing the Simple Success Triad to my Facebook group for free. So if you're watching this video in my Facebook group and you want access to this training when it is released, just comment yes please below this video, and I will get in touch with you and I'll make sure that you get access to it. If you're watching this somewhere else, go back to my Facebook group, The Fully Booked Coach, and join my group. That's on Facebook, The Fully Booked Coach. Join there so you can get access to this training as soon as I've released it. And I'm going to be going through these things that I've talked about, but I'm also going to be giving you tools so you can do them. I'm going to be creating guided meditations and a specific tool for uncovering limiting self-beliefs that you don't even know are there. Okay? And this is what I've learned through my hypnotherapy training. how to bring these self-beliefs up, to be able to examine them, and then giving you a guided meditation to help you to release them so that they are no longer there controlling your mapping, so you can start to move forwards the way you want to go. So if you want access to that training, you're not in my group, you need to go and join that group and then let me know, and I will give you access as soon as it's created, which should be in the next week or so. All right, you guys, have a wonderful week, and I will see you very, very soon.